Yo yo, welcome back to 20 minutes of me yapping. This time we're looking at a plus 14 stone vault on the new patch on 11.0.5. A couple changes to our talents. We're now playing passive mushrooms, we're playing double incarn, a lot of interesting stuff. I'm still playing double unuse, but double unuse is not as important as it was last week, I would say. Like you can easily just play Ritual Knife or let's say Unbound Changeling over Transmitter. Let's get into it here. Roar for my tank. Gonna get out some Moonfires, cause there's no point in Sunfiring when everything is spread apart like this. So just Moonfire, a couple Sunfires. Last pack gets in, Sunfire. And then let me just roll it back here. Finish my last dots here. Transmitter, trees, incarn, starfall, starfall, into starfire, into starfall, starfire, starfall, and that's the AoE rotation. There's no min-maxing with Convoke or anything with this build. It's just very straightforward. You just do the same thing every pull, and you do good damage on every pull. And then you also have with this double incarn, you basically have cooldowns for every pull on a hierarchy. It's really good. I actually forgot to spec Dispel in this dungeon, so some of these pulls are a bit spicy because I'm a bit of an idiot. All right, we go into next pull, and guess what? CDs again, trees, incarn, and we just Starfall and Starfire. So this build is like even more chilled than last week. But the weird thing is that in 11.0.5, we have more talent. We basically have more keybinds in Raid because we're playing New Moon and Stellar Flare and all those annoying talents that nobody likes. I'm kind of impartial to them, but I've heard a lot of my followers and people in the Discord saying that they don't like trying to min max all of those extra keybinds, which I understand completely. Just gonna go into Solar Eclipse here at the end to finish down main targets that are higher than others. And then we go into boss, and look at that. We have cooldowns again. This time with Transmitter. Transmitter, trees, incarn, and we just Star Search and Wrath. That's the single target rotation. Star Search and Wrath. Yeah, also, if you didn't know, on that first pull, I wasn't taking any damage from the AoE slams. Actually, someone in the YouTube comments told me that you could outrange those at the start of the season, which I didn't know of, so shout out to that guy. And then on this boss, only time you bark skin is on this big damage hit. That should be the only point where you're in danger. Unless I've seen pugs break all three of these pillars, and in that case, you might want to bark skin like these lasers here. But the strat in high keys is that you just break one pillar each time, and then you save every defensive for one big hit, which makes a lot more sense. I have Incarn here again, and I also have Transmitter coming up. I'm pretty high Spymaster stacks, but because I'm not 40, I'm not going to send it. So here, Transmitter, Trees, Incarn, Star Surges. So at the time of this recording, I would say this is the best build, but very recently I've seen some Elun's Chosen builds also simming pretty high. The problem with Elun's Chosen is that it looks a lot better on paper than it is in reality. Because in reality, you're losing out on a lot of burst damage. It takes you longer to set up the pull. You have a lot more restricted movement because your damage a lot of the time on single target is just star firing. And as you can see here, there's a bit of movement where the shorter Wrath casts are just a lot more manageable to min-max. But I think as the season progresses and we get more used to the dungeons and everything, Elun's Chosen might become better when we know exactly what's going on in each key and on every pull and so on. Alright, so for this next pull, I have cooldowns again, this time with Spymaster. So just gonna dot everything up. On this pack, I'm gonna Sunfire immediately because they're stacked on the right. So one Sunfire because they're stacked. Then Moonfires. Same thing on the left. As soon as he pulls them, I'm gonna Sunfire. And then pre-Starfall a bit. Trees, Incarn, Spymaster, Pot as well. So we're doing big damage here. The burst this week compared to last week is definitely a bit lower because of your Starfire doing a bit less damage. Min-maxing Dream State is a bit less relevant now than it was last week. Last week it was really important to do that. It would gain you a lot of damage. Now it's a little less important. Now it's a lot more about just using UE procs as soon as you see them pop. Alright, here we have Transmitter, Incarn again. So far I've pressed cooldowns on every pack in the dungeon. Twice on the boss as well. I see my team was running out of kicks, so I beamed. But yeah, I actually like this variation of Boomy a lot. You just have good damage all the time. You don't have insane damage and you don't have low damage. Just good damage every pull, which I think is pretty important. And then maybe the other DPS in your group is someone you can play more around his cooldowns. I think maybe you would want to have an elemental shaman somehow with a Boomy in the comp. Or maybe an enhancement or something. Because they have like really big cooldowns with Ascendance. Or maybe even like a Frosty K and play around his breath. I like playing with Mage though. I think Arcs is still a lot of damage at this key, and he hard carried single target, while he's also buffing me and Gravy. And intellect buff on augmentation is like really insane because it sort of double dips. Because he gains intellect, and when he gains intellect, he gives more intellect to me, for example, and then I also get more intellect because my intellect is higher and I'm getting intellect buff. I just said the word intellect like 10 times, but I'm sure you know what I mean. And then for this pack, we have CDs again. Holy shit. Just Incarn Trees Transmitter. I mean, looking at the dungeon right now, so far my transmitter has gotten infinite value. So I'm pretty sure it's still gonna be double in use. the way this is getting played right now. Then we go boss. I have cooldowns lining up for first shield, so I'm taking a lot of orbs here. I think I can get like 4, and then I'm in trouble. But yeah, I'm already taking a lot of damage. This is kind of scary, sitting on 3. I'm just gonna take this orb as late as possible, so I don't take too much damage. And I also extend my buff. Trees, transmitter, Incarn. Wait. Okay, I definitely made a mistake here. I should have popped Spymaster. Yeah, I should have popped Spymaster here. I'm just letting the... By the way, in this fight, I'm not touching a single ad, basically. I'm just letting my Frost Mage cleave them down with Ice Lances. Alright, and then here, I'm holding cooldowns for the shield. Have Spymaster. Have 4 orbs. Trees, Incarn, Pot, everything, Spymaster. And the shield is getting absolutely destroyed. And then here, I make a shitty call. This is my fault that we're wiping here. I said commit because I still had Spymaster running for a bit. I'm getting trees, transmitter. I thought this would be enough, but it was not. So yeah, we end up dying here, but we finish the fight. We have to run back. All good. I don't have cooldowns ready on this pull. At least at the start, so I can send my trees here, and my trees will be back for my Incarn. Yeah, they're gonna line up perfectly with Incarn. And then I'm just holding my transmitter for my Incarn as well, of course. You've probably noticed, but I'm still doing the dream state min-maxing that I talked a lot about last week in my commentary videos. Because it's still just, even though it doesn't do the damage, it's still worth it to fit more Starfires inside your Lunar Eclipse on AoE. Here I pop trees, transmitter, and Incarn again. Unfortunately, I get the jump one, which is really awkward here. Like you can see here on my Uyghur, it says jump. And then I'm popping cooldowns and I have to fucking jump a couple times. But it's fine, I was pressing Starfall anyways. But yeah, look at all these mushroom procs. I'm getting a mushroom dot on every target, meaning my waning twilight uptime is insane on this pull. So I'm just doing 8% more damage for fun. And look at this, 8 million sustained AoE DPS. I didn't even have anything crazy. It was just my my 90-second cooldowns. Transmitter plus Incarn. Then we go into the next pull. And I think we do a big pull here where my CDs aren't really ready on pull, which is a bit awkward. I get a bit of aggro because I have Starfall rolling. It's kind of scary. I meld here. And then transmitter. But the pack is almost dead already. Trees, Incarn. And we're just blasting. Damage went up from like 4.5 million to 6 million at the end there. Yeah, I think with this build, it's important to just kind of send your cooldowns on cooldown because you have them so often. But the cool thing is that you can also easily afford to not press your cooldowns because you don't lose a use by holding when you're like 1 out of 2 charges of Incarn. I think that's like the true power of this build right now. It's just that you're so flexible. You can have damage basically wherever you want. I remember this one. Everything was like spread apart kinda. So I did a vortex here, and then I was gonna mass grip by typhooning them with my vortex, so they would get gripped to the middle. But my goddamn frost mage roots them perfectly, so none of them gets knocked by my typhoon. Cinema. Yeah, look at these mushrooms, mushroom procs, man. Beautiful. No cooldowns. 5 million AoE. Pretty solid. Finish off the pack, and then I have Spy Master ready for the boss here. I'm gonna set focus on this guy in case I have to back up a kick or something. And then here, trees, Incarn, Spymaster, Starfall, Pot. And then we're doing the 2 target rotation, Starfall, Starfire. And my mage is gapping me. I think he also had his Spymaster stacks here. And then, of course, Frost Mage 2 target is pretty insane because their Ice Lance just cleaves 2 targets perfectly. Just gonna keep going Lunar Eclipse here, Starfall, Starfire. And then you'll see that I sometimes go Solar Eclipse because they spread up like this, and once they spread up in this way and you can't cleave Starfire, it's better to go Solar Eclipse. But yeah, I have Incarn coming up in 7 seconds, trees in 15, so I'm just gonna hold this Incarn a bit for my trees to be ready. And then I'll send my transmitter as well. So I pop transmitter here. It's telling me to jump. I did 2 jumps already. I'm delaying the 3rd jump until I'm actually ready to pump with my cooldowns. And then here I jump, I trees, Incarn, Starfall, Starfire. Starfall, Starfall. And then I guess here I should have gone Solar Eclipse. But it's hard to predict. I guess I'm still cleaving like half of my clips, so it's not the end of the world. I don't like looking back at it. I don't think we should have lusted here because our timer was so good anyways. We could have just held it for a good lust. But yeah, we killed the boss. We run back, and then it's my job. Basically, these 2 ads are really shitty to play. So what you can do as a night elf is tag them, run away. They charge that. They charge basically all the way to the entrance, like that, and then you just run ahead, and you shadow meld, and then they're just gonna reset in that position, and my whole team passed by. And they have stealth detection, so you need to also be careful that you don't meld too close to them, because then you'll get put back into combat. But yeah, as per usual, we're just sending our Incarn transmitter trees. Okay, I don't know what I was saying. For keys, I'm definitely playing double in use. Having transmitter for every Incarn seems kind of broken. Gonna bear form for this hit, but I barely lost any HP, so didn't have to do that. Did I have a mass barrier or something? Why do I have a massive shield? Oh, I have shield from my evoker. Shield from his Breath of Eons. Then we chain into next pull. I beam. And in this comp, I don't have to target totems at all. My Frost Mage will take care of totems. Which is perfect because Boomkin is probably the worst target in the game to kill totems. None of your AoE spells cleave the totems, and you have to target them, but then you also kind of want to dot them because your Star Surge isn't going to do any damage if you don't have dots up on the target. So it takes you like at least 3 globals and making sure you have AP saved up to kill totems. So ideally you want to have a totem killer in your comp. For me right now it's the Frost Mage that carries this part of the dungeon. But a Frosty K could do it as well. An Enhancement Shaman could probably carry totems as well. Well, actually, Enhancement Shaman is also kind of bad at totems, if I remember correctly. Spicy baits here. Oh yeah, I sent Spymaster cooldowns on this pack. Yeah, just starfalling and starfiring. It's really not that deep, bro. Boom, boom, boom. Solar eclipse at the end here to do single target, obviously. I tried something different here. So, because I popped Spymaster, right? My transmitter is now desynced. So what I'm doing here is I'm just pressing transmitter and then picking it up with my trees. The timing here is a bit awkward though because the pack is over. So I get the transmitter buff here and then I kind of want to go into next pack with trees. So I have a little bit of burst on pull. So yeah, this is the only thing I need to figure out about double unuse. It's what do I do with my transmitter when I use Spymaster on my CDs. I think what I'm doing here is fine because now I can just hold this next incarn for 50 seconds until transmitter is synced up. Because by holding this incarn right now, I'm not losing anything. It's 1 out of 2 charges, so I can hold it for as long as I want until the next incarn is up. And then 15 seconds on top of that as well when I have 2 out of 2 charges because I'm playing Control of the Dream. Kill off this ad, we pull boss. And then here, I wait 5 seconds to press incarn because my trees are not ready. So we do transmitter, trees, incarn, star search. And also, one thing I haven't really mentioned in this video at all, but it's pretty important, is that when you're not playing Orbital Strike, your cooldowns are not a global anymore. Like so far this expansion, pressing our cooldown, our incarn, or CA, whatever, it's been a global because it's been called, we've been spec'd into Orbital Strike. So you should press trees, and then when your global is ready, you press incarn and then star search instantly, like on single target. And same goes for AoE. So I'm in CDs here. My tank spell bobbed me, so I don't have to clear. I still got rescued though, a bit of miscommunication. I'm gonna pre-position a bit to clear the debuff as soon as possible. I wonder if I should have. I wonder if I should have even popped Incarn here. I could have definitely just held this Incarn and just sent trees right now without popping it. And just let my Spymaster stack higher. Yeah. I think I should have just not popped it like this. This was just a bit too. This is something I would do if I was in a rush, but the timer is fine and the boss fight is still like 2 minutes longer. So yeah, I should have held that Incarn longer. I'm gonna send trees, and then for my next Incarn, I should have trees back and transmitter ready as well. So we just trees. They're gonna refresh that Moonfire, don't have to worry about that. The boss is... Wait, is the boss gonna die before my Incarn even comes up? My Frost Mage is kinda owning. And then I get CDs here. Trees, transmitter, Incarn. And keys done. 4 minutes under. Even with the incident on second boss. And almost doing 3 million overall damage. I would probably do 3 million overall if I didn't die on whatever that boss is. Skarmarak. Yeah, that guy is not a fun boomy fight. But yeah, I think after rewatching this, I'm definitely sticking to double unuse. This seemed very nice. And the single target wasn't even that bad. But I'm gonna look more into these Elun's Chosen builds because they have been simming pretty good. But I'm pretty sure that they're just they're bait. They're a lot worse in reality than they're good on paper. And when they're already that close, I think the quality of life from Keeper of the Grove is just gonna win out every time in keys. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see. Everything right now, it's still early patch, so nothing is set in stone. Everything can change. Anything can change. Just gotta stay updated. Like, I would recommend everyone to probably join my Discord. I'm doing a lot of updates in there at the moment, and then probably also join Dreamgrove Discord. You might also want to check out the Dreamgrove compendium, dreamgrove.gg/compendium. I'm pretty sure that's also been updated recently, probably today. But yeah, I think Boomkin is pretty good actually in Mythic Plus right now. The only issue is that shamans are extremely broken, and they're kind of overshadowing Boomkin. Like, we're kind of left in the shadow of Elemental Shaman, and if you're playing an Elemental Shaman in the group, it's hard to fit in a Boomy as well. But honestly, Mark of the Wild plus this overall damage, plus Boomkin being so tanky in keys, like you can basically live every one shot. I think Boomkin might become meta, like very soon, as soon as Shaman gets a couple nerfs and people realize how good Boomy is. But anyways, that's it for today. Okay, that was 30 minutes of me yapping, not 20. Might have to change the intro a bit next time. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.